Hello, and welcome back to Goblin Mode Gaming. Today, we'll be getting into what a format is within the context of Magic the Gathering, as well as going over some new terms to help categorize the formats we'll be covering in our future videos. Before we do, if you haven't already hit the like button and subscribed, please do so that you can help us reach our goal of 1,000 followers within the next year. Now, let's get into it. Magic is a game that has grown and evolved over the decades, from starting out with limited draft environments to slowly developing many constructed competitive formats of play. A format is a set of rules and or guidelines that players use as a social contract when playing Magic the Gathering. These rules will dictate many different aspects of the game, both prior to play and during. The various formats of Magic are very diverse, and some really push the boundaries of what it means to even be a format. Wizards currently classifies all formats into two simple categories with two subcategories that help define the style of a format. We would like to add some categories to help better define and categorize all formats going forward. Wizards of the Coast uses the terms sanctioned and casual as the two main categories for all formats. These reference whether or not Wizards themselves recognize the format, as is the case with sanctioned formats. Rather than casual, we will be using the term unsanctioned, as playing casually is more determined on the player and their intent than anything else. There are quite a few formats that are likely to never be viewed in any manner other than casually, mostly due to their structure making it nearly impossible. Regardless, we find unsanctioned to be a better term for such categorization. The expansion style format of Kingdoms and Treachery is a great example of such a format. In this format, players are randomly given hidden roles with secret win conditions. Due to its rules and the way this format often plays out, it would be incredibly difficult to establish any kind of a competitive scene for such a format. Not to mention, it's a 5 to 7 player format. Imagine how long just a single round would take, let alone playing 3. The randomness and king-making aspect of the format would clash very abrasively in any competitive environment where a prize is on the line. To continue, the two subcategories that Wizards uses are constructed and limited. Both of these reference the deck construction method for each format. Modern and Pauper, for example, are both constructed, whereas drafts and sealed events are both examples of limited play. Rather than change either of these, we would like to add another layer of subcategorization, these being basic, minigames, and expansions. Most of all formats use Magic cards as they were intended, but not all, meaning that you would not use the standard set of rules to play the game. If a format changes nearly nothing about the rules other than the basic stats of the player and their deck, such as a player's life total or their deck size, then we would classify this as a basic format, referencing the fact it uses the rules as written with no or very little deviation from the standard rules. Some formats that would be included in this category could be Standard, Modern, Legacy, and Commander. Formats like our own Pit Crew Racer, I believe, would also fit in this category, but just barely, as we have had to alter quite a few keywords and also how some rules in combat work. Despite these changes, the format still functions much like the other previous examples. Minigames in Magic represent a distinct category focused on simplicity, creativity, and often a bit of humor. The main idea being that they are self-contained and need no outside help from other formats to function, but are themselves not internally robust or diverse enough to be a basic format. Some are officially printed within supplemental sets, like the Magic minigame cards, while others come from community innovation. Many of the current examples take very different forms as well, some acting much like a self-contained board game, such as the basic land game, while others act more like a snapshot into the window of Magic, like the Dan format and its many iterations. Minigames often rethink how a card or set of cards can be used in Magic. In the classic form of the Dan list, this is a main feature of the deck. Recontextualizing the use of a card is a staple in such formats. Taking that thought further, we go back to the basic land game, where basic land cards are not played and used per their normal rules of Magic. Instead, we grant them abilities based on the broader idea of what each land represents philosophically in the Magic color pie. Without needing to understand how the deeper mechanics of the actual game works, this format lends itself to being a great way to introduce new players to the feel of a game of multiplayer Magic. These formats often emphasize novelty, chaos, or a particular card's thematic flavor, and can blur the line between game and parody. Unlike sanctioned or unsanctioned formats, minigames tend to be self-contained, short, and governed by a simple win condition or loop. They typically don't require full decks or long time commitments, and are often taught on the fly, making them ideal for social events, breaks between matches or rounds, and some great thematic storytelling. In the world of custom Magic formats, expansions represent an exciting and transformative layer of gameplay. Rather than creating an entirely new structure from scratch, an expansion overlays a new set of rules, roles, or objectives onto an existing format, often a multiplayer one, like Commander. Think of it as adding a new lens through which players experience the game. A great example of this is Kingdoms and Treachery again. These expansions typically assign hidden or public roles to each player, reframing their win conditions and altering how they interact with others at the table. Suddenly, the game isn't about life totals or combo pieces. It's about reading your opponents, protecting your allies, sowing some confusion, and maneuvering politically toward your secret objective. This can be especially refreshing in larger playgroups, where traditional Commander games might drift into chaotic free-for-alls without any clear direction. Expansions often provide such direction. They introduce narrative arcs, team dynamics, deception, and emergent alliances, elements not usually found in a Commander game or other sanctioned formats. Each player is given a unique pathway to pursue, giving purpose to every decision and interaction. You're no longer just playing a deck. You're playing a role, a strategy, maybe even a character. That said, the impact of an expansion can vary dramatically depending on your group, the roles used, and the style of play your playgroup enjoys. Some expansions create deeply strategic political battles, while others might lean more into social deduction or storytelling. Because of this wide variance, the experience can be unpredictable, but that is part of the charm. Expansions aren't just rules modifications. They're a way to breathe new life into familiar formats, unlocking creativity, depth, and replayability. Whether you're looking for more narrative, more politics, or just a fresh challenge, expansions might be the perfect way to reshape your next game night. The development of these various formats illustrates how Magic the Gathering thrives as a modular system. Sanctioned formats are usually designed and maintained with a top-down philosophy, where game designers at WotC use testing environments to shape fair and competitive experiences. In contrast, unsanctioned formats, minigames, and expansions typically arise from the bottom up, from local groups and casual play, online content creators, and a lot of experimental tinkering. Platforms like YouTube, Reddit, and Discord, and programs like MTG Arena, MTGO, and Tabletop Simulator have further accelerated this evolution through the ease in which it is to share and play with these ideas at large. Fan-created variants are more visible and influential than ever, with some even reaching widespread popularity. In rare cases, WotC adopts or even borrows concepts from fan formats, Commander and Oathbreaker being the most recent and prominent examples of fan-made formats becoming sanctioned. Ultimately, the lines between sanctioned or unsanctioned, construction or limited, and competitive or casual reflect the multifaceted nature of Magic the Gathering itself. Its modular rule set allows for endless permutations, and its player base continuously innovates within and beyond those bounds. Whether chasing Pro Tour dreams with the newest net deck, or being lost forever in endless subgames with Shadowzad, each format enriches the MTG experience differently. Magic endures not just because of the cards printed, but because of the worlds players build around them. Thank you for joining us today. We'll be releasing more videos going over every format we can find, and we'll even mix in a few of our own designs. Make sure to like and subscribe if you made it this far. Let us know what your favorite way to play Magic is down in the comments. See you guys later.